Hi and welcome to another video from the Intelligent Auto channel. Today we have this 2009 Jaguar X-Type. It's the 2.2 diesel. It's an automatic. And it was recovered in as a no start, no crank. The report I got from the breakdown service was there's multiple communication faults throughout the vehicle, so nothing they could rectify at the roadside, so it was recovered here for further investigation. First of all, let's hook up a scan tool and scan the car for faults. So with the scanner connected, we'll go for a global scan of the car. You see straight away 11 faults in the engine. We'll go for a report. Theft detection, CAN engine control, CAN engine control. So I don't know what the ears had disconnected on this. Instrument panel, control module configuration failure, CAN bus faults. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just go for a quick erase. You see, I don't know what the ears had disconnected. So we'll go for a quick erase, see what comes back. There we go. Now one fault in the engine, one in the instrument, one in the parking aid module and one in the cellular telephone. So click for a report on that. And the engine. Readiness test not completed. Instrument pack, CAN communication bus fault. And then the telephone, I don't know if they're relevant. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go and attempt to cycle the ignition and see if any more faults come back. I've cycled the ignition a couple of times and went for a start. We'll see what comes back. There's 6 in the engine. Let's just skip the ABS, it's not communicating with the ABS. I'll go for a report again. Theft detection, CAN engine control module, ABS control module, CAN engine control module, instrument cluster, CAN link engine control module and climate. Yeah, so there's definitely network faults with this. So next thing I'm going to do is basically I'll have a look at a wiring diagram, see how the CAN network's laid out on this vehicle. Based on the stored faults, what I've done is I've printed off a wiring diagram. This one's courtesy of Autodata. And as you can see, there would appear to be 2 networks on this car. There's the green and yellow and there's the blue and yellow. The green and yellow is the CAN network, control area network. The blue and yellow is the VAN network, which is the vehicle area network. All the faults would appear to be associated with the CAN network. So I'm just going to go through the components within that network first. So right at the very top here, we have the instrument cluster. The CAN lines come out of the instrument cluster and they go through what's called the transmission range switch, which is basically the switch on the gear lever or on the top of the gearbox, which tells the network what position the stick's in. The next one down is the air conditioning. So the CAN comes through that. The next one down is the transmission control. The CAN comes through that. So this is an automatic car, so it has a transmission control. And then these 3 here are engine modules, depending on engine variant. The one we're concerned about is the one here on the left, because it's a diesel car. So this is the PCM here. On a branch off to the right here, we have the ABS module. Again, there's 3 shown because there'll be 3 different variants of ABS. So these are the ABS modules. And then this one up here is the turbocharger. The turbocharger has a CAN controlled wastegate. So it gets a message off the network, depending on engine load, and it will alter the position of the wastegate. So that's the basic layout of the network. As you saw in the faults, we had communications between ABS and PCM. We also had a fault in the instrument cluster with a general CAN fault. The transmission control module reported no faults. The range switch, there was nothing on for that. And the air condition, there was nothing on for that. So it would appear that our fault would possibly lie in the lower part of this network. So let's open the bonnet, take a look at how the network's laid out, and start doing some testing. So I've accessed the CAN wires at the ABS pump here. As you can see, I've put a couple of side probes in to the CAN wires. Basically, the CAN wires on this are green and yellow. So I've got the scope connected. So let's have a look at the signal, see what it looks like. And there we have it. Doesn't look so great. What I'm going to do is just slow it down a touch. See if I can pause it. That doesn't look fantastic. There's worse bits than that, I believe. See if I can catch them. There. That basically looks like we've got the two CAN wires shortened together. It just doesn't look good at all. So, like I said before, when we're looking at the wiring diagram, the clue seems to be where the ABS and the engine control are connected. So we'll take a look at the routing of the harness and see if we can work out where this harness goes. So as you can see, I'm connected into the back of the ABS here. Now the harness, it goes down, it comes back round on itself, and it actually comes up. This is it here on the inner wing. So it comes along the inner wing behind these steering pipes, are there? Fuel pipes? ABS pipes. Behind these ABS pipes. It goes up round the back of the strut top. It comes along here. It's behind this harness here. I'll get a light. Easy to see. With that harness down, that's it there. And it goes up behind this soundproofing, and it appears to go right along on the back of the bulkhead behind this soundproofing here. And it comes out here, as you can see, comes back under this strut plate here, and it comes to this multi-plug here. I've identified the pins in the multi-plug. I've got them back probed on this side. That's the yellow wire there, and the green wire is, if you can see it, but it is actually underneath. You can just see the back of it here. That's the green wire there coming through the multi-plug. The harness then comes down here, so you can see the CAN wires there. It's in there. It comes down here and goes down by the side of the battery tray. It comes down and it actually goes along, sorry my torch is in the way, underneath the radiator. Take it back around this side, and it comes out and up the side of the engine here, through this harness here, which then goes over here, goes under the fuel pipes, and ultimately goes back to the engine ECU, which is tucked back down there. We can see the Torx bolt. So, as I say, I believe the fault, by looking at the diagram, exists between, because there's no communication between ABS and engine, it exists between here and there, but the harness takes the long way around back to the engine control. So this would be the obvious place to break into it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this multi-plug here, and then we'll have a look to see what effect that has on the CAN signal. I'll keep you on the screen. You can have a look, watch the CAN signal as I start unscrewing this multi-plug. That's the multi-plug disconnected, and as you can see, it's cleaned the can up. Nice clean can signals there. It goes to prove that the can issue is between this multi-plug here and the engine ECU over there, because that wiring harness comes down around the front of the car, up over the engine and back to the engine ECU. So I'll plug this back in. We'll go back to the can signal. Hopefully you can see me from here and you can see the screen at the same time. There's a Torx, it's actually a Torx Plus on the top of the engine ECU. I'm going to start unscrewing this, and as I unscrew it, what it's going to do, it's going to actually pull the plug away. So you'll see if there's a change in the can. That's it unscrewed there, I think. Just pull the plug away just to make sure it is unplugged. Yeah, it's definitely unplugged. So let's have a look at this can signal. So as you can see, the can signal is now looking like what a can signal should look like. But there's no communication between ABS and engine, which is possibly part of the immobilizer fault, because the ABS system on this and the engine ECU will all be part of the coded modules on this vehicle. Basically what I've done is I've proved that the corruption within the CAN network is down to the engine ECU. We've got communication with the engine ECU from the diagnostic socket, but there's also a VAN network coming from the diagnostic socket to the engine ECU, so I would imagine it's possibly communicating through that. We'll take it around the other side of the car and we'll pull this plug back and we'll have a look to see if there's anything that shouldn't be there on the plug. Just pull this plug up, tight to get it out of there. So as you can see, the plug looks nice and clean, nothing to worry about there. I'm going to take you off the tripod again and show you the back of the engine ECU. Engine ECU is actually inside the car, but the plug comes through the bulkhead. Get you in shot. Grab a light. So there's the engine ECU there. That's the plug on the back of the engine ECU, and again, all looks clean, tidy. There's been no water ingress, so it's not a connection issue within this plug.